What if I told you some of the quietest people you know aren't actually quiet because they want to be? They're quiet because they got tired of feeling invisible. Sounds odd, yeah, but also weirdly common. Ever sent a long message and got back? K. That tiny little K feels like emotional damage. Loudly crying face. Or maybe you're in a group conversation trying to say something, but somehow everyone talks over you like your voice came with an ad blocker. And after a while, your brain starts thinking, maybe people just don't care about me. But here's the crazy part. The psychology of feeling ignored has almost nothing to do with being weak. In fact, people who feel ignored usually notice everything. Tiny tone changes, delayed replies, different energy, short answers, awkward silence. Their brain becomes like a detective with trust issues. Someone replies 2 hours late and they're already thinking, yep, they hate me. Loudly crying face. But why does this happen? Because humans are built for connection. Your brain literally treats social rejection almost like physical pain. That's why being ignored can ruin your whole mood faster than stepping on a Lego barefoot. And once someone feels ignored too many times, something changes inside them. At first, they try harder. They text first. They make jokes. They start conversations. They put effort into friendships. But when that effort keeps feeling one-sided, they slowly stop. Not because they don't care, because caring started hurting. And honestly, that's the dangerous part. People who feel ignored often become masters at pretending they're okay. You ask them, "You good?" And they instantly say, "Yeah, I'm fine." Meanwhile, their brain is running a full 4K emotional disaster movie. These people also overthink a lot, like Olympic-level overthinking. A friend sounds slightly different one day. Now, they're replaying every conversation from the last 6 months. Did I annoy them? Did I say something weird? Should I not have sent that meme? Loudly crying face. And the worst part? Most of the time, nobody even realizes they're hurting. Because ignored people usually suffer silently. They don't want attention. They just want to feel valued. Big difference. And sometimes the feeling starts early in life. Maybe they grew up in a house where louder people got all the attention. Maybe nobody listened seriously to their feelings. Maybe they got interrupted constantly. So eventually their brain learned, my thoughts probably don't matter. And once that belief enters someone's mind, it affects everything. Friendships, relationships, confidence, even the way they speak. Have you noticed how some people say, sorry for literally everything? Sorry for texting. Sorry for asking. Sorry for existing. Loudly crying face. That often comes from feeling emotionally unwanted for too long. Their brain starts trying to become less annoying so people won't leave. But here's another strange thing about ignored people. They remember small kindness forever. Like forever. You check up on them once, and they'll think about it for weeks. You include them in a conversation, and suddenly their whole mood changes. Because people who feel ignored aren't asking for the world. They're just starving for genuine connection. And sometimes feeling ignored has nothing to do with other people. Sometimes it comes from comparison. Social media made this way worse. You open your phone and see everyone hanging out, laughing, traveling, living their best life. Meanwhile, you're sitting there eating snacks at 2 a.m., watching videos about why your life feels weird. Loudly crying face, and your brain quietly whispers, looks like everyone belongs somewhere except me. But remember this, social media shows highlights, not loneliness. Even people surrounded by friends can secretly feel ignored. Because being around people and feeling emotionally seen are completely different things. That's why some people become quieter over time. Not because they lost personality, because they got tired of feeling unheard. And eventually they stop explaining themselves. They stop opening up. They stop expecting people to understand them. It becomes, never mind, forget it, it's okay. Even when it's clearly not okay. Psychologists call this emotional withdrawal. Basically, when your brain decides protecting yourself feels safer than being vulnerable. And honestly, it makes sense. If someone constantly feels unimportant, their brain starts avoiding situations where they could feel rejected again. That's why some ignored people isolate themselves. Not because they hate people, because isolation feels less painful than disappointment. But here's something important. Feeling ignored doesn't mean you are unimportant. Read that again. A lot of people tie their worth to attention. No replies? I must be boring. Not invited somewhere. Nobody likes me. Conversation feels dry. I'm awkward, but human behavior is messy. People get distracted, busy, emotionally unavailable, lost in their own problems. And sometimes people genuinely care about you, but just suck at showing it. Humans are emotionally confusing creatures. One minute we want attention. The next minute we ignore text because replying feels like a full-time job, especially when someone says, "Can we talk?" That notification alone raises blood pressure. loudly crying face. But people who constantly feel ignored often develop hidden strengths too. They become great listeners, very observant, emotionally aware, empathetic, because they know exactly how painful it feels to be overlooked. That's why many deeply kind people once felt invisible themselves. Pain teaches awareness. But there's also a dark side. Some ignored people become people pleasers. They try too hard to earn love, always available, always understanding, always sacrificing, because deep down they fear, if I stop giving, people will leave. And that mindset is exhausting. You start treating relationships like performances, like you always need to deserve attention. But healthy relationships don't work like that. Real connection shouldn't feel like begging for basic care. And honestly, one of the saddest things is when someone gets so used to being ignored that they become shocked when someone treats them well. You compliment them and they think you're joking. You check on them and they ask, "Why are you being so nice to me?" That tells you a lot, because sometimes the people who act the strongest are secretly the ones who felt invisible the longest. But here's the truth most people never hear. You do not become more valuable by shrinking yourself. You don't need to talk less, feel less, or hide your emotions just to make others comfortable. And the right people, they won't make you feel like attention is something you need to earn. They'll listen, they'll notice, they'll remember the small things. And most importantly, they'll make you feel seen. Because everyone wants that. Not fame, not popularity, just the feeling that their existence matters to someone. So if you've been feeling ignored lately, don't automatically blame yourself. Sometimes you're simply surrounded by people who never learned how to truly connect. And that says more about them than you. One genuine connection is worth more than 100 fake conversations. Always remember that. And maybe instead of chasing attention from people who barely notice you, start giving your energy to people who actually appreciate your presence. Because the moment you stop begging to be seen is usually the moment you finally start seeing your own worth. And honestly, that changes everything. This is Zynco. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next one.